Team Canada is going to erupt in FIBA World Championship 2023. There is no doubt that the North American country has managed to put together the best roster in its history for any FIBA competition. But this is only a consequence of the country's improved training system, which is capable of exporting some of the best players in the world to the NBA. A machine that has been running for a long time and that is now reaching that peak at which it is ready to compete at any level, even at international level. It is well known that Team USA never shows its full potential, except at the Olympics. This tradition of bringing younger players to FIBA tournaments has taken its toll on them on more than one occasion, as the rest of the world's teams always try to have the country's best players in their ranks. During this World Cup, to be played in the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia from the end of August, Canada will have a team that places them as one of the best teams in the whole competition. Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the best players in the NBA. After averaging 31.4 points, 5.5 assists, and 4.8 rebounds per game during last regular season, the Canadian point guard has made the All-NBA first team, a tremendous explosion that also allows him to be with one of the teams with more upside in the competition, such as the Oklahoma City Thunder, and an even more explosive point guard who can do everything on the court, being one of the best players in the world. With only 24 years old, Shea can make history with a Canadian team that also has a perfect companion in the backcourt. Jamal Murray is coming off historic performances in the playoffs, with averages of 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists per game during the postseason. He has been a perfect complement to Nikola Jokic, that two-man game of the Nuggets that has made history with a record of 16 wins and 4 losses during the playoffs, and for which the opposing coaches have not yet found an answer. Jamal is one of the most lethal combo guards in the league and is capable of scoring in almost any situation. Murray will have the opportunity to complete Canada's backcourt, along with Shea, and they will probably form the best guard pairing of the tournament. But the NBA's contribution to Canada's team doesn't stop there. As many as 10 players from the national team's roster are currently under contract in the best basketball league in the world. Corey Joseph will complete this NBA experience backcourt coming off the bench. The point guard, who has been in the NBA for 12 seasons, will offer the team a dose of basketball IQ and experience in tough situations. As if that wasn't enough, Canada will also have Gilgeous-Alexander Walker, a 6 feet 6 inches shooting guard who hasn't had much continuity in the NBA, but manages to stay in the league quite safely. He has good defensive qualities, but his efficiency on the offensive end has left something to be desired during his career, with numbers below 40% from the field and 34% in three-pointers. Anyways, a different player for a different role. The rest of the perimeter positions also have great depth for the Canadian team. RJ Barrett, one of the most important pieces for the New York Knicks this season, is one of the most important players for the Canadian team at the forward position. His shooting consistency has not been the best since he came into the league, but his scoring ability makes him a prized asset in the NBA. Barrett is coming off averaging 19.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game in New York's strong season that saw them post a 47-35 record on the regular season and eliminate the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round of the playoffs. Jordi Fernandez, the Spanish coach of Canada's national team since June 2023, will face tough decisions when it comes to putting together his starting players at the small forward and power forward positions. In addition to Barrett, the team features NBA starters such as Luguentz Dort, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's teammate on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Despite the 6 feet 3 inches 215 pounds coming into the league as a defensive specialist, he has managed to develop his arsenal over the seasons, eventually averaging 17.2 points per game during the 2021-2022 season, and he will have to compete for his spot with Dillon Brooks. After all the drama the player had in the series against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, and when it seemed that his future in the NBA was uncertain, the Rockets decided to offer him an $80 million contract for 4 seasons. Although his attitude can be detrimental to the team as he has shown in Memphis, he is still a very good defender who has good offensive skills and is a great complement to any team that already has stars. At the center position, Canada will have 2 players who have established themselves as good role players in the NBA. One of them is Kelly Olynyk, who already has 10 years of experience in the league. After playing in Boston, Houston, Miami, and Detroit, the center seems to have found an important role with the Utah Jazz. Kelly is not a traditional center, as his outside shooting and ball handling skills make him a good offensive player. He will fight for the starting center spot with Dwight Powell, who has played almost his entire career with the Dallas Mavericks. Powell is the complete opposite of Olynyk. He is an interior player with great physical presence and fewer offensive tools, who has nevertheless been able to shoot an incredible 73% from the field this season with the Texas franchise. Having two centers with very different traits will help Jordi Fernandez to select the best option depending on the opponent. Keep in mind that Canada does not have Andrew Wiggins, NBA champion in 2022. If the Warriors' small forward were available for the national team, Canada would have a bench virtually made up of NBA starters. The versatility of their roster looks to be the best in the tournament, with players capable of contributing in different areas of the game. The globalization of the league is allowing the expansion of basketball at the highest level to all corners of the world, and this is noticeable just by looking at the MVP trophy. On the last 5 occasions, the winner has been a non-US player. However, the neighboring country is one of the countries that is taking the most advantage of having a training system similar to the American one. But even so, players like Jamal Murray have spent their high school years in Canada. In fact, the shooting guard played alongside Thon Maker and formed one of the best high school teams in the world, capable of regularly beating strong US opponents. But this process does not happen overnight. Canada has been investing in its young talents for a long time, even placing 2 #1 draft picks in consecutive years, with Anthony Bennett and Andrew Wiggins in 2013 and 2014. And it has put up great performances in these games against Team USA, such as the 2016 Pan Am Games. But even so, the Canadian team has not been able to perform well in FIBA championships so far. The team's best ever World Cup finish was 6th place, achieved in the 1978 and 1982 editions. But the disappointments do not end there. The team has failed to qualify for 2 of the last 4 World Cups that have been played, mostly due to NBA players not being able to attend qualifying games, because they coincide with the regular season. This time, however, the team they have is so competitive that going home without a medal would be a disappointment. Recent victories have prepared this core of players, usually led by Jamal Murray, to compete at any level, and the whole world knows it. Bookmakers currently place Canada as the second favorite for the title, with odds of plus 550, and tied with Serbia, behind only Team USA. But how long will it take to see them lift an international title of this caliber?